Dhyanam Khadgam Chakra Chapaparigan Sulam Basundim Sira Sankam Sandatitim Karaistri Nayanam Sarvanga Bhusha Vrutam Neelasya Padadasakam Seve Mahakalikam Yam Stotswapite Haro Kamalajau Hamtum Madhum Kaitabam. So now we have discussed that Maa Kali holds some tools, right? Like sword, wheel, mace, bow, iron rod, trident, head, conch. So when we read the Dhyanam, we know that she is holding these tools. But when we know the significance of it, it can enhance our experience about what is the interpretation of each of these elements. So in this video, we'll look at what is the symbolic meaning of sword, wheel, she holding this mace. And in the next video, let's look into other tools. All right. The first thing we talked about was the sword. So, what does the sword that Maa Kali hold signify? See, when we are going through any kind of life challenges, or we wanted to get into a spiritual path, we have a set of ego, right? Like a fog of ignorance, which is like I can do things, I can do it on my own. Why do I need divine's help? I am more than enough. Oh, uh, I have no time. I'm so busy doing a lot of other stuff. And if I just sit and do prayers, it's gonna kill my time. I'm gonna be late. The traffic will catch up. Or I don't know what to do. I'm confused. I'm lost. I'm helpless. Or a resigned state that no matter what I do, nothing will change, nothing moves. These are the states each of us will be there when we have certain kind of maybe life challenges, or we are in the beginning of looking at spiritual paths. Because one of the ways we get into spiritual paths is through some kind of sadhanas, right? Be it meditation or prayers. So there's like no time, I can't focus. Why should I do? I'm good enough. My life is great. Why do I have to seek divine's guidance? So each one of us has our own ways of a self-narrative that we say, which avoids us from seeking um, either solving problems in the way divine has asked us to solve, or aligning with the divine will, or just surrendering to divine. So the sword Maa Kali holds signifies that she's going to cut through this veil of ignorance each one of us has, or the ego, or that, or the attachment towards worldly desires, or towards people, things, whatever it is. She kills it. She dispels it. Like just like a sword, we cut it, right? Just like that, she cuts it, and she offers us clarity when life things are not moving forward, or when we are in our own head that things are not moving, or we wanted to get into spiritual awakening, or we want to follow some spiritual path, but our resistance is so high. We're not able to sit, focus, spend time. You give reasons over reasons. All of these, as I said, all of this are the illusions, the Maya that the world creates for us to finally surrender. So, with her guidance, we will be able to dispel such illusions and gain wisdom so that we can path our way towards enlightenment. And it also is a sign that, when we are looking at certain things, not all things happen according to our will, right? We might want something, but divine has something for us in our store. And we always want what we wanted, what we don't want what the divine has given to us, right? So we will be grieving, or we will be holding dearly our desires, that why did I not get it? Oh, I worked so hard, why did I not get it in my case? Or in other people's case, it's more about I wanted to buy this thing, why didn't happen? I wanted kids, why didn't happen? I wanted to marry, why is my spouse like this? Or I wanted to seriously sit and meditate, but I don't seem to find time. It just doesn't happen. All of these are some kind of, the Maya that holds us back in our quest for enlightenment. And Ma, with her sword, just again severs all of this and puts us into the path towards her, towards the divinity. And the other thing is, what is this? What is this? What do it just cuts and things will just break into two. Similarly, whatever are the problems when we pray to Maa Kali and we, with lot of humbleness, reverence, devotion, just like how we speak to Mother when we talk about our problems, our heartbreaks, our pains, and surrender. If this is something that you think is, I think I need it. Please help me get this. Help me, show me the way that I can achieve it, or show me the way what is aligned to my path, so that I will be able to work towards it. If we can surrender our burdens, our lives to Maa Kali with reverence, she purifies our hearts and minds, and she uses the strength. When things are all, when a lot of times, right, we see that all the doors get closed. No matter what, you talk about whatever money you have, how many people you are surrounded with, or you don't have money, or whatever is it, finally you realize that there's a time when humanly possibility is, no, it's not possible. There is a need. We feel that there is divine intervention that's needed. You know, and before to that, when the moment, it's like one step ahead. The moment I realized that I have done everything possibly to do this, and now I need divine intervention. This stage is where, when she cuts the ignorance, she removes that, the veil of ego. That's when we even start thinking that maybe divine intervention is needed. But before to that, we are so lost, you know, going here, going there, doing this, doing that, inside of achieving our desires or towards our attachment towards earthly things. And then we are tired, we are lost. So that is when Ma, with her sword, it's like a symbol that, how she can cut it like that. She can purify our mind, hearts, and give us the new energy, new strength to work towards what we want, aligned with her divine will. Like God has already a set path to us. And since we are all in our own egos, head, ignorance, desires, attachments, we are blinded by this illusion. So Ma severs that and shows the path which is aligned with the divine blessings and divine path. And that way, when we start taking a step towards it, life feels so taken care, so protected, so guided, isn't it? So that's what it symbolizes. And it also inspires that, we, while we are going into that path, or if at all we wanted to kill our desires, attachment, you know, there might be resistance, there might be a kind of um, lethargy. So she inspires us to take this head on, and knowing that Ma is always walking along with us. And when we know Ma is along with us, and she is guiding every step, somehow we feel that inner strength to face any kind of challenge that comes on the way, because we know we're not alone in this journey. So that one, what is she holding is a sword. But if you look at the hidden meaning, on if you look at any god that's holding a sword, in this case Mahakali, it signifies that she's the, it's like a divine knowledge. The sword is of knowledge, and it cuts through the illusions and give us clarity to help us walk the path divine has bestowed upon us. Now we look. Now the next tool is the chakra, the wheel. Okay. So what's the symbolism behind she holding a wheel? That's what we want to discuss. So the chakra that's held by Maa Kali represents the never-ending cycle of time. Like the cycle. It shows how everything in the universe is always changing. Nothing lasts forever, and the life, experiences, situations, circumstances moves in continuous cycle, just like the wheel rotates, right? In it, and what is the basis on which this whole rotates is on based on law of karma, which is our actions have consequences. Hindu mythology strongly believes on the law of karma, right? Our actions, be it good or bad, shapes our future experiences. And you know, life unfolds in alternating phases of joy, sorrow, success, failure, growth, stagnancy. All of this influenced by our past actions or current actions and the karmic patterns we create ongoingly. So no phase lasts forever. They all come and go just like a spinning chakra, the wheel of chakra. And by taking refuge in Maa Kali's embrace, we align ourselves to her divine will so we can navigate these ups and downs what life throws upon us more smoothly, finding strength, courage, guidance, and inner peace. So when we know she's there to show us the way, and when we see that hope that, yes, I'm going through a low phase in my life, but that doesn't mean that's the end of it and life is always going to be this. Today I'm going through maybe a challenge, but very soon when I align myself with the divine's will of doing some spiritual practices, um, overcoming that resistance to do spiritual practices or aligning myself to what the universe is guiding towards me, Ma is guiding towards me. Then what happens is I somehow find strength, courage to walk that path, knowing that things will get better. And when we are walking that path, it also is a symbol, it's sign that walk on the righteous path. Why? Because today's actions leads tomorrow's future. So when I walk the path of dharma, the righteousness, good things also happen to me. You know, I'm able to complete lot of karmic cycles, and finally I can get to the moksha. So the chakra is a sign that life is eternal. It's not like, and also it's like a subtle reminder that please focus on things that are mattering to us instead of getting into the deluded by this maya materialistic world and desires. Focus on things that matter, which is the eternal time. And throughout the eternity, who is all omniscient present is God, divine. So it's a sign that we need to align with what's eternal instead of wasting time or getting deluded by these things that are having a limited time frame. Some to this time, to this space. So that's also another interpretation we can look at. Now we'll get into the next. What is the next tool and what does that mean? Okay. She also holds a Gada, right? A mace. What does that mean? Usually, whenever you look at Gada, I'm sure most of you, or you at least you have seen, some mythology character holding a Gada, and it just definitely, it feels very powerful. And like the moment he holds, or any person holds a Gada in their hands, it somehow feels they're super powerful by their, because it itself looks like a very heavy tool, and in order for us to hold it, maybe you may have to use both your leg and core strength. So it requires that kind of strength. So similarly, when Ma is holding the gada, it indirectly, it's a sign that with determination, whatever life challenges we are facing right now, like how a sword represents, knowledge, the gada, the mace, that also signifies that strength to overcome obstacles. Some problems in life requires knowledge, and some requires actions also. So there are both emotionality needed, and then there is physicality also needed for us to solve certain problems. So this Gada signifies that the strength of solving a problem, or you can't force to solve a problem just by understanding it or by having the knowledge. We also have to take action. So, and when you're taking action, it's a sign that we need to persist also. We just can't take one day, okay, I'm doing one day and then I'm done with it. No, we need to endure, persist, and slowly we will be able to attain whatever we want in our lives, be it spirituality. So, if I'm a sadhak who's embraced spirituality very newly, obviously I understand, okay, this is what are the prayers, this is what I need to do, this is how I'm supposed to do. But just mere understanding won't lead us anywhere. We also have to practice. And once you practice, there's a lot of determination. Maybe we may have to take up new habits, we may have to shell out some old habits that are not serving us. And it takes some kind of determination to keep on going on that path, right? So we need to endure. So this Gada is an indication that we need to we need to keep going. Not just understanding is enough, but you also need to take actions. And another way to look at is, since Gada is an interpretation of power, know that when you're walking, in the path which divine has, because you're surrendered, the sword has already cut the ignorance and it's started to show signs. That's the reason we are in the spiritual path and stuff like that, when we start doing things, because already we are surrendering, in the due act. So at that time, the Gada also shows that, she's with us, the goddess is with us, like power. And it's encouraging us to confront even any of the most toughest, stubborn challenges with courage and resolve. You know, Sometimes when we want to sit, we have a lot of laziness, we have a lot of distractions. We don't want to. We have self-talk. A kind of coming from resignment, like, okay, things didn't work so far well. Will it move? What will happen if I just do this prayer for 2 hours, or if I do this sadhana, if I do this meditation, whatever that is, whatever that calls for you, especially in this context, since we are already looking at reciting this Durga Saptasati. Maybe when you're starting to recite, when you're opening the book, it feels like, oh God, what is this? It's so boring, and you know. So what we know that this is one of the pathways for us to attain liberation, spiritual growth, or aligning ourselves with divine path. Because we need to spend time with divine, right? And when we are reciting these prayers, it's a means for us to be close with the divinity. And when we have this, we have these kind of evil tendencies that comes up as lot of resistance and other challenges. Similarly, when you look at into another context, in terms of your goals, so same way, you have the knowledge to achieve it, and here just having knowledge is not sufficient, right? We need to also take actions, and we are taking actions since we are already also doing the spiritual practice now. Earlier, we only just did goals and we thought divine's presence, it doesn't matter. Just like I also thought some months ago. And after my awakening, I realized how great, how easy life can be when we fall in line. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this series, right? To also bring in, along with your productivity and all your tools, self-care tools, you need to also have another angle which is backed by spirituality that can elevate your journey in a more enriching way. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this, right? So we need to also look at how we can take this with strength. Looking at her strength, we derive strength. Looking at her power behind, there's a power behind me, was like, like a big, Gada Mace. And looking at that, I can get strength, I can get confidence that, yeah, earlier also I worked hard, but now I have divine power behind me. So whatever is that trials that I'm facing, it becomes so easy, or it feels like there's some superpower behind me and I'm not alone battling this journey anymore. So I just have to evoke her whenever I'm having self-doubt, I'm having confusion, I'm having fear. We can remember, okay, goddess is, my favorite god, but with whom I am having a better connection, like Maa Kali. She has sword, so she is dispelling. So Ma, please remove my ignorance, remove my confusion, and give me clarity, so I can think about it and imagine that she's already giving me clarity, because that is a sign, a visual representation that she can do that. And now when you're holding this mace, then it feels like, okay, she's there behind me. So whenever I feel fear, I feel lack of confidence, I can imagine she holding that mace in her hand, and that's a strength. And whenever I want to give up, whenever I'm feeling lost, I can see that she's there behind me with a powerful stance, who's supporting me in this journey. Hmm? So that's one of the ways we can relate so dearly with her, even just not when we are doing prayers, but even all through the day, so that she's always there to support us in whatever we are doing. That that blessings hand, that strength that we get from her is unmatchable, and no human can provide it, trust me on it. So we need to experience it. And if you're already a person who is into deep into this journey, I'm sure you would have experienced it, so you might resonate with what I'm saying. And the other thing is, see, a lot of us, when we are wanting to seek help, there are a lot of people who come try to help us in the beginning, but when things don't work, they just leave us. They give up on us. But Ma is somebody who never gives up on us, and she encourages us. She is behind us, making us move mountains for the things we believed. If we really, with reverence and devotion, prostrate in front of us, give our burdens to her, and say, Ma, please show me the way. So, this Gada also is a symbol that, when she holds that, she's never going to give up on you. And how many times we felt lonely, and how many times we felt darkness in front of us, because we never know where to go, what to do. There's nobody to support. If whoever are there to ridicule us or put us down. And then there is Ma, who never leaves us. As a person who started, you know, listening to God's words whenever I visit temples or as part of this healing, I hear their voice, the universe, how synchronously it works towards uplifting humanity, each individual. Every person is important when it comes to God. And if we are going through some hard phases, I'm sure most of us leave, because they say, right, success has a lot of friends, but failure is always a lone journey. Like nobody wants to make friends with failures. But the failures that seems to be today are not the failures. That's a illusion. Trust me on it. Something is missing. Maybe a process, a method, or a divine hand, or I'm fighting against the water flow, which feels hard work. Maybe God want me to do something, but I'm trying to do something else. And that's when there's a lot of unproductivity that happens in our lives either. Or sometimes we have our own barriers, emotional baggages, our karma, the negative karma, or certain kinds of vows, contracts we have made, promises we have made in some lifetime, which may show up as certain behaviors, attitudes, actions. And all of this may result in some kind of looks like an unproductivity. And when we are going through the difficult phases, there are very few people who support us, and they are our best friends. We are eternally grateful to them, at least to the time in this lifetime. Okay? But Ma, she never leaves. She gives unwavering support and guidance, assurance. When you see that pole, when she's holding that Gada in her hand, and when we see it, we know that there's a big power behind. Whenever I'm lost, whenever I'm gripped by fear, whenever I don't know what words to use to talk or what actions I need to take, just close my eyes and imagine that power behind me, which is holding that Gada. I get rejuvenated, I get strength, I get sense of security that I'm not alone. I'm no more alone. Yes, the future there looks dark. I don't know what happens tomorrow. But I know that whatever happens, she's there to take care. And that's such an assurance, right? Especially when we have gone through certain phases where we felt lack of support from the ecosystem or people around us. So that's what this signifies, that I will never leave us during the most difficult times. Instead, when we are going through difficulties, like one bull going like this, head on, she with her sword, cuts that illusion and say, "Hey, child, stop. Enough of running like this wild. Come here, come in my embrace. I'll show you the path, which is more easy and which can make your life more fulfilling, aligned with the divine will, aligned with the path." So let's look into it. So that's the assurance Ma provides. And inside of all of this, when we keep on believing that she's there, our faith increases, our faith on what she can take care, she will take care. I don't have to be scared anymore, be it for whatever. If at all I need to change my actions, I just surrender and ask me, what actions do I change? What new ideas can I bring? What are the things I need to shed? What are the things I need to move forward? How do I move? If I just surrender, quieten my inner voice, which is all happening through this usage of tools, a path emerges, and that is aligned with the divine. And that's what, you know, each of these tools, there's a lot of interlinked, there's a lot of overlap, but still we'll discuss, and once we look at the totality of those, we know that it's not like one strength, one sword enough, only one sword or one gada or one bow. No, it's a combination, and that much assurance, that much strength, that much showing the path, and that's what Ma stands for. And when you look at the Dhyanam now, we are looking at, to this Ma I'm going, you know, because she's so omnipresent and so huge, so celestial, who's holding such power, to that mother who's so powerful, who can not just free me from this liberation, give me moksha, which is the eternal truth of human life, but also looking at what all things I can do to help me cross these hardships or strengthen my sadhana, strengthen my spirit process. Every one of us are seeking, right? So help me seek better, help me move forward better. That's what Ma gives. She pulls, there are 10 people who pulls us down. Ma provides us with 100 people. That Gada can signify just not at a symbolic way of she is alone. She provides her army of people who support us in whatever form. We just have to build that trust and faith that she will provide and it will happen. That's the way it works. Okay, let's look at the next, which is Dhanush, bow.